Upper90studios.com.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. 79 points last week, 80 points this week with no hits. It's currently sitting around the 1 million mark, pushing close to 700 total points. So here we go, Game Week 13 review. This time I'm going to do it top to bottom, starting with the forwards. Jamie Vardy, 24 points, captain. This is one of the best games I've seen from him in terms of what I look for in FPL. He was absolutely unstoppable. So many people on Twitter were saying how lucky Vardy captainers were, but they were focusing on a single VAR decision, which does not tell the whole story. Vardy was incredibly unlucky against Brighton, and here's why. These are my personal notes on Vardy. You can pause the video and read them if you'd like. Now, Vardy finished with a goal, an assist, and maximum bonus points, but based on what I saw, he could have easily had a hat-trick of goals and assists. So those who did not captain Vardy, they should consider themselves lucky that they're not looking down a 40-point haul from Captain Vardy. Even though I sold Sterling, of course it was a reasonable decision to captain him Game Week 13. That's not what I'm arguing. Sterling had great scoring potential against Chelsea's defense. I'm talking about performance evaluations from watching the whole game. Using a single incident to prove a point can be misleading. Sterling, 2 points. He was actually anonymous until around the 60th minute. Then he started getting more touches on the ball and running at defenders. But I can't remember a single attempted shot or chance created by Sterling Game Week 13. Vardy earned every single point this week, and he deserves to be the first player to reach 100 points in FPL this season. Raul Jimenez, I haven't had a chance to watch the Wolves game. I know that Bournemouth had a red card, and they fought back in the second half. Wolves are back to their consistent form from last season. I've been a fan of Jimenez for a long time because he played at my favorite club, Benfica, in Portugal. I'm going to be able to assess Jimenez later in the week after doing more research. Tammy Abraham, 2 points. Stronger first half, quiet in the second. James Maddison, 3 points. Solid performance, and he probably deserved a return from this game. Plus, he had that goal disallowed by VAR on his birthday, which was not very nice. Sadio Mane, 9 points. My transfer in for Sterling. Mane was put through on goal by Henderson in the 48th minute and missed that chance. Then a minute later, he scored from Robertson's cross. Liverpool, they looked pretty flat in the attack without Salah, especially in the first half. I was surprised that Salah never came on because they needed a spark against Crystal Palace. Kevin De Bruyne, 7 points. Going by performances alone, KDB was one of the top players Game Week 13, and he deserved more than just 7 points. He did finish the game playing from a deeper position, but that was after David Silva and Rodrigo came off injured. Mahrez and Kante were other standouts in this game. Mahrez is a rotation risk, but Kante goes straight into my watch list. The concern with Kante is he can sometimes play a more defensive role, so keep an eye on Lampard's tactics. I also had a chance to meet Kante about a few years ago when he first moved to Chelsea. Ben Chilwell, 8 points. I couldn't be happier with Chilwell, who has yet to blank since I brought him in. Chilwell created that chance for Vardy in the 65th minute, then he nearly scored in added time again. That late shot on target, that might have just lifted him to the bonus point system, so he had a clean sheet and 2 bonus points. There was one important note, and that was the injury to Johnny Evans, who I thought was actually Leicester's best defender Game Week 13. They have a great run of games now, but if Evans is out, it could affect their clean sheet potential. That's why it's important to consider some defenders who can also pitch in with attacking returns and not just rely on clean sheets. Alexander-Arnold, 2 points, and Robertson, 6 points. Poor game defensively. Crystal Palace had way too many chances to score. There aren't many defenders better than Alexander-Arnold and Robertson for their importance in the attack. If they're allowed to cross without pressure, it's only a matter of time until Liverpool score. John Lundstrom, 3 points. I didn't watch this game. I listened to it on the radio. Sheffield United lost their concentration for 10 minutes near the end, and they were punished. The commentators made it sound like they were surprised that United were able to get a result at all, and they questioned the withdrawal of Martial, just as United attackers were exploiting that space behind Jagielka, who's not the fastest defender. Nick Pope, 9 points. 2 3-0 wins in a row for Burnley, and the defensive changes they made, they worked. Mason Mount, 1 point, came off the bench and had 2 decent chances in 15 minutes. The best one was a free kick late in the game that was just wide. Ederson was at full stretch. I am experimenting with a rotation system between Lundstrom and Mount. A deeper squad can also be an advantage with injuries and rotation as we push into the busy December period. Although I'm always itching to cut the bench to strengthen the starting 11. That's one of my weaknesses. I am happy with the results from this rotation system, and I might be swapping them around again this week. So many people ask me, why would you sell Sterling ahead of Chelsea at home? The short answer is, I was way more excited about Mane than I was about Sterling. I don't have other priorities in my team, so with the free transfer, why not move for the player whose stock is rising? Sterling has 5 points in his last 3 games, which is less than 2 points per game. Mane has 28 points in his last 3 games, around 9 points per game. In Sterling's favor is a good fixture game week 14 against Newcastle, and he could benefit in the absence of Aguero, assuming Aguero's set for a long spell on the sidelines. City's medical team, they're saying that Aguero could miss a few games. The negatives are Sterling's recent returns, and he's also on 4 yellow cards. Mane's fixtures, they also feel a little bit better in the long run. I already sold 2 premium players, Salah and Sterling. So what's the plan for game week 14? The transfers I'm considering this week are transfers out De Bruyne, transfers in Son, and I may captain him. And when making transfers, I'm considering a number of factors. Aguero is out injured. Without him as a target, will that affect De Bruyne's scoring potential? According to our fixture cheat sheet, the attackers version, Man City now face a more difficult run of games than Spurs, who have easier fixtures all the way through December and into January. Son, he now faces Bournemouth at home next, which makes him a top captain pick game week 14. And Son, he could flourish under Mourinho if he implements a counter-attacking style just like he did at Real Madrid. But by far the most important factor when making any transfers is that rush of excitement when bringing in a new player. It's about instinct. I wanted Vardy, Maddison, Jimenez, Robertson instead of Salah. I'm more excited about Mane than Sterling. I want to see what happens next with Tottenham, who have now scored 7 goals in their first 2 games since Mourinho took charge. Their defense, that's a different story. Now, which players are you excited to watch in the next 2 to 3 games? Let me know in the comments. When you post your score, good or bad, when we exchange ideas, that's what I look forward to the most. So that's going to be a wrap for today. Stay tuned for my next video. If you like my music, all my songs are free to download on the website. See the link in the description. Be sure to follow at Upper 90 Studios on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, where you'll get an inside scoop before YouTube. And if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe and turn on your post notifications because this season is going to be epic. Don't forget to subscribe to our email list and get your free fixture difficulty cheat sheet. Click the fantasy tab at upper90studios.com. If you're on a computer, it's at the top right of the page. If you're on the phone, it's at the bottom. Thanks for watching. See you soon.